Bedrooms from the 1960s to the 1980s solved a problem most modern rooms ignore. Sleep first, style followed, function. You see it in the weight of the furniture and the quiet of the room. The bed sits low and steady. Nothing flexes, nothing rattles. When you lie down, the surface accepts your weight without sag. The room feels controlled, calm, built for recovery, not display. The sleep surface defined everything. Box springs were firm and simple. Coils were thick steel tied by hand. No zoning, no foam layers. The mattress resisted motion. When one person turned, the other barely felt it. You heard a dull, muted thump, not a bounce. This reduced micro wake-ups. Bodies stayed still, sleep ran deep. Mattress height stayed modest. Beds sat lower to the floor. Climbing in required no step. Getting out demanded core strength. This mattered. Low beds reduce fall distance. Older sleepers benefited without thinking about it. The firmness kept spines straight. You felt pressure along shoulders and hips, then even support through the back. The surface felt cool. Cotton breathed. Heat escaped instead of trapping. Sheets mattered. Percale cotton dominated, tight weave, crisp hand feel. When you slid across it, the fabric whispered. No stretch, no cling. The sheet snapped when pulled tight. That tension stopped bunching at night. Wrinkles stayed flat, skin stayed dry. Synthetics existed, but most serious households avoided them for sleep. They crackled, they trapped heat, they felt wrong after midnight. Blankets carried weight. Wool and cotton dominated. You felt gravity press the body into the mattress. That pressure calmed the nervous system. Heavy blankets reduced tossing. When you shifted, you heard a soft scrape of fibers, not a rustle. Quilts added another layer of mass. No lofty piles, just density. Pillows stayed thin. Feather or down packed tight, you punched them flat. Neck stayed aligned, no towering stacks. One pillow, maybe two. When you turned your head, the pillow compressed and rebounded slowly. You heard feathers shift. That sound became part of the sleep ritual. The pillow smelled faintly of cotton and soap, not chemicals. Bed frames were silent. Hardwood or heavy steel. Joints bolted tight, slats thick, no squeaks. People expected silence. A creak meant repair. Many frames used a headboard bolted directly to the wall. This stopped movement. It also blocked drafts. The bed became part of the structure. Room layout followed airflow. Beds avoided windows in cold climates. In warmer areas, windows stayed nearby but not behind the head. Curtains were thick, drafts blocked, sound dampened, walls carried mass. Plaster, not hollow board. The room held quiet. At night, you heard distant traffic softened by fabric and solid walls. Silence was engineered, not accidental. Lighting stayed simple. One ceiling fixture, one bedside lamp, warm bulbs, low wattage. Switches clicked with authority. No glowing screens. When lights went off, darkness arrived fully. Eyes adjusted fast. Melatonin flowed. Flooring mattered. Wall-to-wall carpet absorbed sound. Bare feet felt warmth. Steps disappeared. Rugs stayed thick. No echo. This reduced nighttime disturbance. Getting up to use the bathroom stayed quiet. Partners slept on. Furniture stayed minimal. There was just one dresser and one nightstand. Everything was made of solid wood. The drawers slid with weight, and there was no rattling hardware. Items were placed deliberately. An alarm clock, a glass of water, and a book. There was no clutter at all. Less visual noise meant less mental noise. When you lay down, nothing competed for your attention. Daily habits completed the system. Beds were made tight every morning. Sheets were aired, and windows opened briefly, even in winter. Cold air flushed away moisture, and bedding dried out. This reduced mildew and odor. At night, the bed felt fresh, crisp even. The routine mattered just as much as the materials. Sleep timing stayed consistent. Many households followed fixed lights, out hours. The television was left out of the bedroom. Reading happened under a lamp, then it was lights out. The body learned the schedule and sleep arrived faster. Wake-ups dropped. This discipline came from necessity, not theory. Early work hours simply demanded rest. Noise control extended beyond the room. Doors were solid and hinges oiled. Floors were thick. Houses were built to contain sound, Bedrooms became acoustic shelters. Even storms felt distant. Rain softened. Wind muted. Sleep continued. Heat control stayed blunt but effective. Radiators or vents provided steady warmth. There were no cycling blasts. Temperatures dropped slightly at night. Bodies cooled and sleep deepened. Extra blankets adjusted comfort without touching the thermostat. By the late 1970s, foam entered bedrooms. Early foam was, dense and limited. It was mostly used as toppers, not as cores. People noticed heat build-up really fast. Many removed it. The lessons stuck. Breathability mattered more than softness. Support mattered more than novelty. Modern bedrooms, lost this balance. Beds became taller, surfaces got softer. There are more layers now, more noise, more light. And, sleep suffers. The fix does not require nostalgia. It requires selection. Firm support, breathable fabrics, weight over fluff, silence over features. Honestly, apply these principles now. Strip the bed, lower the frame. Choose cotton and wool. The takeaway is simple. Sleep quality responds to physics, not marketing. Mass dampens motion. Breathability controls heat. Silence preserves depth. Build your bedroom like a tool, not a display. Do this and, recovery improves fast. Share this with someone who wakes tired. Subscribe for more practical history that works tonight.